Just this past Monday, over 200 protesters in the city of Baltimore got arrested for their part in the protest. Some, of course, were rioters who were involved in looting and were justifiably arrested as a result of that. However, public defender Marci Johnson is concerned with the conditions that these protesters are in while they're imprisoned. And she's also concerned that even though they've been in prison or jail, I should say, for several days, they haven't received any charges. According to Baltimore, or I should say Maryland law, you're supposed to have charges within 24 hours, and many of them have not been charged with anything yet. So here is her description of what's going on in these jails. Up to 15 women were packed in cells that measured about 100 square feet with one sink, one toilet, and no pillows or blankets. 3 times a day, they were given 4 slices of bread, a piece of cheese, and a bag of cookies to eat. Sounds like a lot of carbs. They were saving some of their...
I don't think that's really the issue.
I know. I'm just trying to make a little bit of light out of this, even though there shouldn't be.
The big house of carbs.
Okay. They were saving some of their bread and using it as pillows so they would have something to lay their heads on instead of a filthy concrete floor. The conditions these women were being held in was shocking. And BuzzFeed says that they were held without being formally charged or having a bail hearing, something that they're supposed to receive within the first 24 hours.
Okay, so I'll tell you the parts I'm outraged by and the ones I'm not. I think they picked the worst example to highlight. Like the bread pillows. Like, okay, I mean, it's a weird thing. It didn't make me go, no, not the bread is pillows.
It did lead to a good graphic.
Okay, that's true. Okay. Yeah. But like, it was weird. That didn't resonate with me. Okay, now the real outrage. You can't put people in jail and stuff them into a place and then not charge them.
Oh, I thought the one toilet was going to be your objection.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I'm coming to that.
Okay.
Okay. So, and part of that is, look, it might be because, we arrested so many people, rightly or wrongly, and we didn't have time. Okay, but that's not how it works. Then you got to let them go, right? Because you must process them orderly, because probably a lot of them are innocent, and it turns out you're keeping them in jail for over 24 hours, stuffed into those places in miserable conditions. That's just not how we do things in America, or not how we're supposed to do things in a free country.
Some of them have children. It's a diverse group of people. They're not all super young. I mean, it ranges from teenagers to people in their mid-40s, and so it's just a complete disregard. But I think on top of it, I think it's just the fact that, hey, you know what? These people are out on the streets. They're causing trouble. We want to intimidate them. So we're going to keep them in terrible conditions so they don't cause any trouble again. It's that simple.
No, it's not even that they don't cause trouble again. It's just teach them a lesson.
Exactly.
Right. And so that's what bothers me. A lot of these protesters were peaceful. Some were not, but a lot of them were. There's not a lot of discrimination that happened in trying to figure that out. And they stuff them into a jail, like, we'll show you. You want to protest? Okay, this is what's going to happen. And there is no more fundamental right in America than to protest, okay? That's in the First Amendment. If you don't get that, you're un-American. So now, on to the more important issue of the toilet. Okay, all those people, one toilet. Here's the first thing I would have done. Okay, we're getting organized. There's going to be a human wall around the toilet, okay? You guys are going to turn your backs, okay, and we're going to go one at a time. Let's get this shit organized. Literally. Didn't mean it. Okay. All right. Because, God, you have no privacy. That's horrific. I don't know. I got obsessed with it.
How terrible is it? I mean, this is obviously they've been in prison since Monday. So obviously they've had to do all sorts of things.
Yes.
Right? And, oh my God, can you imagine the smell, how crowded it is? I mean, think about that.
How much worse would it be if you didn't have 4 slices of bread to use as a pillow?
Look, I would have been part of the Night's Watch there, okay? And I would have organized the wall, and I said nobody's getting past the wall. We're gonna have privacy in this goddamn place. They're not gonna they're not gonna dehumanize us in that way. And you know what? I would volunteer to be part of that wall for an inordinate part of its existence, just so that we have it. I thought this whole thing through.
You're an American hero.
That's
so
right.
I'm thinking about all these great prison break movies, like The Great Escape, these World War II movies, these great things, and like these guys, how the trouble that these guys went to of like digging the ditches and then putting the dirt away and dropping it around the camp so the Nazis wouldn't figure it out. And everybody had a different job, right?
Yeah.
And all you talk about is like, I'm on toilet patrol.
Okay.
And they'd be like,
right.
yeah, okay. I got it. You're on toilet patrol. Okay. We're trying to break out of a Nazi prison camp. And you're like, what we should do is we'll form a wall, a privacy wall.
Okay. look, this is my watch. And I swore an oath. Okay, I am part of the Crows. I am the Jon Snow of prison toilets.